Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jake. This feels really formal. I'm used to doing cozy weekend vlogs, living down in Brighton with my dogs. Oh, that was a bit of a rhyme. But I, this week, thought I would do a bit of a come to work with me, if anyone is interested. I've tried to film this video a few times now. For work, I'm a management consultant, and I used to love watching people's weekly routines and work routines and stuff back when I was studying at university. And I've done a bit of travel recently and taken my camera with me and sat down, spoken to you all. But it just feels a bit too formal. But again, I'm sat at my work desk here and I'm I don't really know who I think I am. But yeah, I thought I'd bring you along. I've got some snippets that maybe I'll insert from past trips and bits with work, but I wanted to sit down and start this video and sort of introduce what I do for work, the kind of field I am in, because it's a bit confusing for people that aren't in finance, so alluding to it there. I work in management consulting, which is basically working with different banking clients. You can do it for any kind of industry, but my company is specialising in financial services, and so I basically work with all the big banks like Morgan Stanley and HSBC and all those kind of bulge bracket banks, I think they're called. And then we've got other areas in my company that focus on energy and insurance and other practices. And so I've worked in a range of financial fields. I've done asset management, and I've done insurance, and I've done data and bits like that. And so at the moment I'm working on a program which is focusing on more strategic work. So it's going to our client and investigating where they're at in all kinds of fields and doing kind of an assessment on how mature they are and operationally efficient and excellent they are. And so yeah, it's been quite interesting because I've had to travel around to lots of different places in the UK, do lots of different interviews and bits of investigation into how they're actually running the company. And today I'm off to Glasgow. I actually just got back from Paris, which wasn't work related, but landed from Paris on Sunday, had yesterday off, so today's Tuesday. I had a day to recover yesterday, and now I'm off to Glasgow no, I'm not even off to Glasgow, I'm off to Edinburgh. I'm off to Edinburgh this afternoon. My flight's at 4 o'clock, so in 4 hours. And then I'm going to spend the day there. Last week I had to go to Newcastle, which I did start this vlog originally there, but yeah, I didn't really love the intro. The lighting in the hotel was awful, and so maybe I'll put them into the end of this vlog just to buff it up. But yeah, that's a bit of a spill about me and my work. Also, the way it works is that I go into different projects in my company. So I've been at my company for coming up to maybe 5 years, and I joined them straight from graduating. So I studied economics in London, and then I basically got my job the month before. Usually you start in September. I started in June, I think it was actually. So I basically finished my exams, got my results, and then started work, which was lovely. And yeah, I've been with my company ever since. I have worked maybe on 5 or 6 different projects, and they range in time length. So I spent 2 years doing a big technology transformation. I've done post-merger acquisition projects, and at the moment I'm working on this strategy project, which has been really interesting. I started there in February and it's now August. No, September. Oh my god, my brain is not working this morning. And I just finished my coffee, so don't know why it's not working. But yeah, that's a bit about me. I'm gonna head off to the airport in a couple of hours because I actually missed my flight to Santorini this summer on my holiday, and I just have the worst airport anxiety now. And even though it's a domestic flight, I still feel I need to be there 3 hours before, which is the worst because before I used to be so relaxed and I was we'll just get there an hour before, we'll cruise through security, it'll be fine. Now I'm let's just get there and just wait and see what happens. Yeah, that's a little bit about me and my work. Like I said, maybe we'll do a bit of a deep dive later on, but I am now going to carry on working for the afternoon. I've got a lot to catch up on after being out of office for just 2 days. Don't know how much can happen without me, but I'll speak to you guys in a bit. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me with my AirPods on, but I'm just boarding the flight now. It's an hour late. Honestly, none of my flights have been on time this whole year, but I'm getting on, so I'll speak to you in a bit. Hello. I have made it. It's now 7:15. I have a reservation at 7:30. So, I mean, I predicted the timing very well. But I've made it to my hotel room. The flight was smooth, albeit the massive delay. We got here like an hour later. And honestly, I've flown like every single flight I've had. I want to say for the past 2 years, it's always an hour delayed. And like, although it's quicker to fly up here, the amount of time it takes like getting through the airport and getting there early and then like being delayed and then getting from the airport here. Sometimes I think like I'd rather just sit on the train for 7 hours, like it would be easier. But I've made it to my hotel. I'm staying at Edinburgh in Edinburgh, which I've stayed at before. It's like, what is the company called? They have like lots of apartment style hotels. Like I've stayed with them in Manchester before, and they've got one. That's it. I've already stayed with them in Manchester. They've got them all up and down the UK and across the world. But yeah, I made it. I arrived and they were like, the room's not paid for. And I thought, well, you're not billing this to my credit card. Although now thinking like, I was thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind the points. And then like, we just expense it back anyway. But I then had to call the travel agency that like we used to book all of our stuff with. And the lady was just like very rude at the front desk. And she was like, yeah, we've had this issue lots today. So I'm thinking, I've never had this issue before using my agency. So this must be a problem with you. But yeah, we ended up getting it sorted, I think, like, fingers crossed. I mean, like, it's fine if not. But I've made it to the room. Let me give you a quick show around. I booked a Mexican restaurant for, like I said, in like 10 minutes. But it's quite cozy, and I have a terrace, which is really funny. So this is, as you come in, it's got like a little kitchen, obviously because it's like a apartment hotel. I mean, I'm only here for the night, so I'm not going to be using the kitchen. I've not actually looked at the bathroom yet, so let's do a first impressions together. Oh, interesting. Geometric tiles. Not too bad. Nice little shower, little rainfall shower. Little, hello, that's me. Oh, toilet roll. And then, I mean, you get like everything that you need. I mean, I think that's a toaster and there's like fridges and bits and bobs like that. So you could easily live here. I mean, I've stayed here before for like a couple of days, and so like it was nice then having the opportunity, well, the option to make food if I wanted to. They've given me 2 twins beds. And you're also seeing like the Newcastle vlog that I got like a double bed and a spare single bed in there. So I don't know why I keep getting booked these twin rooms, but I mean, hey ho, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Although I hate when it's split down the middle, so that is a bit annoying. And then you come through here and you've got a little living room. And this random thing is like a terrace. I've never had a terrace before. I mean, it's the only one for the building. So I mean, I feel quite lucky having the terrace, but there's people staying there, so I don't want to film in their bedrooms. But yeah, this is me up in Edinburgh. I forget how beautiful Edinburgh is. Like, we're driving through. I used to come here for my past project, which was with like a big asset manager that was based up in Edinburgh. I mean, you can do some guessing who that was. But I used to be here every 2 weeks, and like I used to hate the journey, to be honest, because it would just take like 3 hours, and I would be here for 3 days like every other week, and so it was just quite like disruptive to my routine. But Edinburgh wise, like, it's just beautiful. There could be worse places to be, as I'm finding out with the travel I've been doing across the UK. But yeah, I'm gonna go out now. I'm really excited to use this camera and like film some nice bits, so I'm gonna go and have some dinner. I don't know if I can push my dinner back. I might see if I can push it back until 8, because after flying I never feel like immediately hungry, and so I'm gonna see if I can push that back until 8 and then go and have like a bit of a, my friend used the word meander through the streets, and I was like, who uses the word? Millie, I know you'll be watching this, so you've inspired me. I'm gonna have a meander through the lanes of Brighton. God, you can't take the boy out of Brighton. I'm going to have a meander through the streets of Edinburgh. So, I'm actually staying on George Street, which is, I think, like one of the big main streets of Edinburgh. I can't claim that I know too much. I just used to Google the best restaurants and have a little wander around and do a lot of shopping. Most of my favourite shops are on the street. Like, there's obviously a huge white company that goes without saying, that's my favourite shop. And then we've got like Anthropology and just like all the nice bits and bobs on the street. Lululemon, I got some of my favourite gym shorts from this street, so bringing back fond memories. So I'm really sad actually that all the shops are closed whilst I'm walking around, but hopefully tomorrow after work I'll be able to come here, have a little bit of shopping. My manager is coming with me and she also loves a shop. So I think after work tomorrow we're going to treat ourselves to a little bit of shopping and then go and get some food. But it's just so beautiful. Over here you've got Edinburgh Castle up on the hill, which I remember just being so like shocked when I first saw it in person. Whilst it's daylight, so I wanted to go for a big walk around like I just said, and then I looked on the weather app and sunset is in 20 minutes, so wouldn't really be able to see too much, which is a real shame. I wish I got here earlier, but I mean I set out from my house at 1:30 and the flight is an hour and 10 minutes, so it's just crazy that like it's nearly taken 7 hours to get here. Hey ho, just smiling through. I'm gonna have a lovely dinner. I've been really craving like steak tacos and just steak in general. Ty doesn't really eat steak, so I'm just taking it upon myself to treat myself to it when I'm away from him, and like then it's just easier because he always says like in the week like, oh, we can have by the way, Ty's my partner if you're new here and you're just tuning in for a consultant vlog, but he's always like, yeah, like we'll just do our own meals. But I'm like, that's just pointless cooking 2 separate dinners. So I'm gonna treat myself to some steak this evening, and yeah, gonna hopefully maybe see some more of Edinburgh. Hopefully it doesn't get too dark straight away, but we shall see. Oh my god, I'm absolutely stuffed. I had an issue because I was like, I really fancied beef, and they also had tuna, which was really roe. Ready? So I thought I needed to give the tuna a try, but then obviously you end up with like 4 tacos, and I wanted the like tortillas to start, so it was a bit too much. I'm gonna go for a walk now to like try and walk off all the food, but it's not actually too dark. You can see the castle up here shining the way. I don't know if you can see that on the camera actually. A tiny bit, maybe you'll see it as we get closer. But yeah, it's just so pretty in Edinburgh. Oh, I almost just got hit by a taxi, so I was trying to film that for you. So I've just been for a little stroll. I really fancy a little like, just a little sweet treat, but I'm being good. I've decided that I'm just gonna head back to the hotel while I feel like I still need to like walk off on my food. It's already like 8:45 and I've got to be up at maybe like 7 in the morning, get ready, go get breakfast, get to like the bank for 8 AM. So I do want to get an early night so that I can also sit down, talk to you guys, and also watch the Apple event because I've been waiting months for that, and of course it was happening whilst I was on the plane up here. Okay, I'm back home now. God, it's very dark in here. You know when you stay in hotels and it's like moody lighting, which it's not really ideal for vlogging. It might be ideal for a couples retreat, but not when I'm trying to get some business done. But I forgot this hotel, I don't want to be a drama queen. There's no air conditioning. It gets very, very hot. I feel like it gets hotter in hotels than it does in just like your house. I don't know if it's because of like all of the pipes going everywhere. God, talking about pipes and lighting. But I've got the terrace. I might crack the door open, let some cold air in here, and then I'll do that. Have a shower, and then I'll sit down and talk to you guys. But the food was so delicious. Actually, maybe let me just chat to you now whilst I look nice, not when I've had a shower and I'm like a drowned rat. So like I said, I got the tuna steak and the beef steak, double steak. It was so nice. The tuna was like just pan seared, so it was still like nice and raw. Not raw, but you know how like you get like medium rare or just like rare steak and it's like just seared, so it was really nice, although it threw me off because it was like cold, so I wasn't sure about that. And then the steak was so yummy, but the issue is I had these like tacos with my friend in Bristol, and I had like a beef and chorizo one and maybe just like a chicken one. They were so like, nothing beats them. And also, this is just not work related at all. Sorry if you did tune into this video for like a proper work vlog. But Bristol just 10 out of 10 food, because they also have this amazing Indian in Bristol called black cumin, and me and Ty ordered it on like delivery once, and it honestly was just like, it's all we ever speak about, like it's the best Indian we've ever had. Don't know what tangent I was going on here. really good tacos in Bristol as well. Similar, but they were just like more like naughty. I don't know if it was like cheese or something on them in Bristol. Like these were just like missing something, you know, when like they're just a bit too fancy. Like they were nice and they were fresh, and like the tortillas were fresh, but like I want a bit of dirt in there. So I would give them a 9 or like a 10 out of 10, but I just wanted something a little bit more chica tonight. Anyway, let's sit down and talk about work. Although I really want to talk about work. I've had a day of travelling. I don't want to sit here and think about tomorrow. This lighting, right? I'm going to find a good spot. Okay, so now that it's actually come to sitting down and talking to you, I don't really know, like, what have I got to say about work? So like I said earlier, anyway, I gave you a little bit of a spill. I'm a consultant. I work in the financial services sector. I have done for around 5 years. I am a consultant, hoping to become a senior consultant at like the next promotion roundtable. Like my company do 2 roundtables a year, so like I've been a consultant for 2 years, now pushing towards a senior consultant position. So I feel like I'm a well-experienced consultant, so if anyone is new and like interested in consulting that has any questions, like feel free to hit me up. Hit me up, Jesus. But yeah, like I said, I've been doing it for 5 years. As a kid, I knew that I sort of wanted to work in like banking, and like then I was considering investment banking and like asset management and stuff. But I like a simple life. I don't want to be up in the office until like 2 a.m. Like I've got friends that work in IB, and I've got friends that obviously work all across the industry, and I want a simple life. And I really like that with consulting I get to do the financial services and like work in those domains. Like I've worked in asset management, I work for investment banks, and I get to like experience that, but I'm almost also like protected from it. I mean, it depends, because also there's an expectation where you're working with the client, and so like you need to go above and beyond, and you need to be the same as how they would, like the same standard, if not better, than what they would expect from their own employees. So obviously you work late nights and stuff, but yeah, I don't feel like I'm like stuck in that industry and just like suffering. I think originally like I spoke to a couple careers people at like a careers fair, and they were consultants, and I really enjoyed the sound of it. Like you get to like test out different projects, and like I wasn't sure really what I wanted to do when I was graduating, and so I thought that consulting was a really good opportunity for actually like dipping my toes into different areas, figuring out what parts of the financial services business I wanted to be in. 5 years later, I still don't know what I want to do. I'm really enjoying the project I'm on at the moment, which is a lot more change management and like change transformation. I've worked on like big transformation projects before, whether that be like tech or data. I mean, they both go hand in hand, but like more like processy side of it. Whereas now it's like more of the people transformation and the change management, and I'm enjoying that. I'm working with like the CEOs and like the COOs and bits like that now, doing like more strategy work is a lot more interesting. I guess that's just something that's come with time, and I think obviously just like being a bit more experienced now and like having those opportunities, rather than before I was like doing like BA positions, so it was very like data heavy and like just working in Excel files. Now it's like presentations and like doing like deep dives and strategy work, and so I much more enjoyed that part. Whereas before I didn't really like most of what I was doing, and so like it was harder then to be like, yeah, this is what I want to stick to, and I want to work in insurance, and I want to do this kind of thing, because like I just hadn't experienced the fun side of it. So I'm on the fun side, I'd say, at the moment. I mean, the days are a bit long. Like today you would see that I've obviously travelled this morning. Last week I was in Newcastle, the week before I was in Glasgow. Like I haven't had to do so much travelling before, so that's also why I thought it'd just be a bit interesting to pick up the camera. Originally when I was looking at consulting, I know that like the travel side of it is really glamorized, and like people are like going to New York and they're going to Paris and they're going to Switzerland. I do not. I bought into consulting thinking that's what it was going to be like, but that was also before COVID hit, and so I started my company just after COVID hit, and obviously then like the whole world just went to working online and working remotely, and there's no need to be going to Switzerland for like a project meeting. Obviously I am up in Edinburgh, but that's because we're doing like some investigatory work, and like that needs to be done in person, and we're doing like in-person observations. But for the most part, like I don't need to go to New York to do presentations, and like my clients, my company already have a New York office, and so like those positions are filled obviously from New York. And so sadly I'm not jetting around first class to New York or anywhere like that. Instead I'm just on an EasyJet flight up to Glasgow and Edinburgh. But It is fun. It's long. I don't mind it originally, like when I will come and I'll stay the night before, like this is fine. Like tomorrow's going to be a long day because I'm flying home that day. My flight is at like 10 to 11, I think, and so I get home at like midnight, 1 a.m. So it's going to be a very long day tomorrow because I'm going to be working like in the bank until like 5 and then going for dinner and then going straight home. So it's going to be a tiring day. But I hope that gives you... I don't know if I have given you any understanding of what I do. I basically work for different clients and those projects will be different lengths of time. It will be like a client coming to my company with something that like an issue and then basically consulting firms help that issue. I hope that explains it simply. But yeah, consultant is a bit confusing. You obviously hear management consulting, you hear change consultant, transformation consultant, like I just call it consulting. It's basically just when you work for the bank but you're not employed at the bank, I guess. I hope that explains it simply. Hope that this video is a little bit interesting. Obviously tomorrow I won't be able to film much because I will be in the bank, but I'll try and capture some snippets of like what I'm doing. I'll give you updates throughout the day, and then I'll also chuck in a little bonus clip of when I went to Newcastle last week and did the exact same day. So hopefully it's a little bit entertaining to just see me travelling about and just chit-chatting and just exploring cities. I mean, Newcastle wasn't that much exploring because again I got there really late and then I just ordered Deliveroo and I went to bed. So I debated doing the same today, but I thought I'll get out there. I've not seen Edinburgh in the past, like I think I finished my project in Edinburgh back in February, so yeah, I've not seen Edinburgh in like 7 months. Wow, quick maths, that is correct. So I've not seen Edinburgh in 7 months and not a whole lot's changed. It's still really pretty and I'm just having a little mooch around. But yeah, I'll speak to you guys in the morning probably. Good morning. I feel like I look really pale in this camera. Do I look different if I flip you around like this? I feel like I still look really pale. It is bright and early, maybe that's why I look pale. But yeah, it's 7 in the morning, I'm up, I'm ready. I'm gonna go and grab some breakfast and then I'm gonna head to the bank branch. Why am I posing like this? But I slept well. I woke up this morning and my watch has like reset with my company policy. I mean, that's work related, but obviously like when you have whatever, like your emails and stuff, like you have to have secure passwords. But I had to update my password as part of like the policy a few months ago. I don't remember what my password is on my watch because it has to be like 12 digits or something stupid. And so this morning it's now reset and I can't get onto my watch, which is brilliant. Anyway, I mean, that's not really important. I like counting my steps on there. But I'm up, I'm ready, I'm packed. I'm going to go grab breakfast, like I just said, and then, yeah, head to the bank. I'm meeting my manager there shortly, and then we're gonna have a day at the bank. Basically just doing interviews with the managers, seeing like what their daily routines are like, what software, what systems they're using, and then we're going and doing that at like all the different kind of branches across the UK. So that's why I was obviously in like Newcastle last week. People have gone to Glasgow. I'm going to Birmingham next week. So doing a lot of comparing, and that is, I don't know, that's fine, that's fun. It's very early. I shall speak to you maybe when I'm a bit more awake. So, just finished up at breakfast. It was so yummy. I don't know what they put on that granola. It must just be like all the sugar, because my granola at home does not taste nice. I get like the healthy, like protein granola, but that one with like all the honey on top was just so nice. And then a little cheeky flat white. I never usually have coffee this early in the morning, but I thought I'm gonna need it today. So almost any time I pick up this vlogging camera, I feel like I'm just gonna get hit by a car. But I'm just having a little wander around now. I also realised that I had this camera in the wrong settings for this whole vlog, which is so annoying, but I've decided I'm just going to post it anyway, like it'll be fine. It'll still better quality than when I was filming on my iPhone. But yeah, I'm wandering around now. I'm going to go meet my manager and then we're going to head into the bank. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me particularly well, but it is lunchtime. I'm just going out to grab some food now. It's been a good day in the bank. I basically just spent it so far speaking with the bank manager and like walking through like their daily routines and like their operations and the systems and bits like that. But I've just popped into Anthropology. I'm having a little bit of a mooch on my lunch. I feel like I can't really go back to the bank with loads of shopping bags, but it's not going to stop me from trying. So I'm going to go grab some lunch now. I really fancy like a bagel, or I know that Itsu do like this like rice pot that's like really nice. It's almost like a ramen, it's got like sauce in it, but Itsu's like a 15-minute walk away, and I feel like I might just go and grab a sandwich and keep it simple. So, I have gone for a very random lunch. I queued up in a bagel shop and then the queue was so long and the bagels looked awful, so I ended up going to M&S. Got my favourite prawn mayo sandwich. I discovered these last week. Like a hot and spicy pretzel fin, and they're so good. I started having like the salted ones. They do a few different types. One have like sesame seeds on top. These ones, oh, the hot and spicy on them are good. And then I also picked up like a little sweet treat, a little pick and mix chocolate mega mix, which sounds interesting. And then of course a Coke Zero. They only had cans, but to be fair, when I get a bottle I can never finish the bottle, which is a bit like weak of me, but it's just a lot of liquid. But I'm just going to sit here, have my lunch. I've got, I don't know what monument that is, but looking out on the rest of Edinburgh here, there's like the National Gallery, there's a man up there playing bagpipes. I mean, it doesn't get much more Scottish than this, surely. So, I finished up for the day. I'm on my phone, so I don't know if you're even going to be able to hear me. Also, very, very shaky, but it is 4:30. I'm going for another mooch around Edinburgh. Honestly, it's a hard life. I'm gonna go for a little mooch around Edinburgh. I meet my manager in like an hour for dinner. I could go to my like consultancy office, but I just thought I'd go for a little walk around and then kill some time until then. Hello. So I've made it to Edinburgh Airport. It's now 8:10. Went out for some dinner, got sushi and ramen. I went to Maki and Ramen in St James Quarter. Sorry, I should have started speaking after this person was speaking. It's fine now. But yeah, we just went into there. I wanted to go to Dishoom for dinner, but there was like an hour long wait and I was not waiting outside for an hour. So me and my manager just went and we had some dinner, had some ramen and some sushi like I just said. And then got an Uber to the airport. Then and chatted. It was a really good day actually at the bank. After I spoke to her at lunch, I went back, did some more observations of like people coming in, the customers they were dealing with, those kind of queries, bits like that, and then had a bit of like a wrap up at the end of the day to see how they managed like all the actual admin of running the bank. And then I went over into my Capco office and caught up with my manager because we needed to go over some replanning that's going on for the whole project. So tomorrow morning is going to be a busy morning, although I get in at midnight and there's already like a emergency call at like 9 a.m. to basically bring together a pack to go over all of this replanning and like figuring out the next stages of the project, which is thrilling. I cannot wait. But yeah, my flight now isn't until like, I think it's been delayed until like 10 o'clock, so I'm getting home even later. I don't even know if I'm going to make the train that gets me in for midnight, so it's going to be gone midnight. I feel sorry because Ty is at home, and I'm going to be waking him up when I get indoors this evening, but I'm hoping I can get some sleep on the plane. Last time I dozed off a little bit, but I keep getting the middle seat, which isn't ideal for when you're actually trying to sleep up against the window. But fingers crossed, I'm just going to chill here, maybe edit a bit more of the Paris vlog, or actually find some things to download and watch on my iPad.